thumbs up button for us. Share the video. Don't forget to subscribe down below on the channel that you're watching on. I want to talk about Nicki Minaj because she opened up recently
My bad.
in an interview about her addiction to Percocets.
Wow.
Now she talked about, is she only 40 years old? I didn't know that.
Damn,
She
my
right
age.
about? Yeah, I thought she was a little older than that. She pretty much revealed that she was prescribed Percocets for menstrual cramps
Mm-hmm.
at a point in time, and she put out quote, "No one told me that it was a narcotic, that it was addictive." She began taking the drug because she was in pain. Luckily, she said she was able to ground herself, but she said, "Once an addict, always an addict." I feel like if you ever experienced addiction to anything, which I have, you always have to think twice and three times about the choices you make. So, Nicki Minaj opening up about drug addiction. What's your thoughts on that?
Salute to her. You know what I'm saying? For that situation, um, I know a lot of women go through that. I never heard them being subscribed Percocets. Not that
For menstrual pain, right?
yeah, never. I've heard a lot of things, but never that. But everybody's different. And everybody got different shit going on. But it's very addictive. And if you can get through those nauseating feeling and all that shit, because I can never take it. It made me sick. But if it ain't make you sick and it made you feel good, and you take it every now and again, or you take it consistently, you will be addicted. And then before you know it, and you think about hip hop, you think about Hollywood, how easily accessible it is. She said, "F the doctor. I need more." And can get
Yeah.
it in the snap of her finger. So, you see that a lot in the industry, more so than anything. A lot of these artists, a lot of these actors getting involved in different types of things to cope with, I guess, the life of fame. And I'm just glad a lot of them are able to tell their story so that they can advocate for more people to kind of not do it, because that shit ain't cool. When you get caught up in that, it'll take your life somewhere upside down. But yeah, that's all I got to say about Nicki.
Yeah, nah, man. It's I think it's important, and this is like the other side that we talk about, of these artists. Everything can't always be glitz and glamour. Some shit is rough, and nobody would ever know that she been through that. But I think it's good for her to speak out, about this for people that we know, because it's an epidemic.
Right.
And it still is. It has been for a long time, and I think just people, need to hear that, because somebody could be going through something personally, and they hear, okay, Nicki Minaj, they could be a Nicki Minaj super fan or something, and they hear that she overcame it, they feel like they can overcome it. And I think the drug companies, because one thing she said was like she didn't know that it was addictive. They need to be more upfront, and I'm sure they probably put it on a bottle or whatever.
Yeah.
If you take more than a certain time, you could be addicted to it, but they need to do better. You know what I mean? Because if you remember, one of those big companies was sued for the opioid epidemic. I forget the name of the company. Somebody probably put it in the chat, because it was like they almost willingly got people addicted.
Right.
You know what I mean? Giving people, cancer patients and all these people these high powered drugs. Now you're addicted to the shit.
Yep.
And how you get off, like you got to battle that shit on your own. So
You're a junkie at that point, but you don't think
yeah,
you
it's
are,
no
but you
different than
are.
somebody going out there, and a lot of people, and this is another thing, people go from pills to the heroin to the dope.
Yep.
I watch a lot of stories from Kensington. You've been in Kensington, you've seen that
Yeah.
in Philadelphia, and a lot of people say, "Look, the doctor gave me some pills. Next thing you know, I couldn't afford them, so I was getting dope. I was sniffing dope. The next thing you know, they shooting dope. Now they shooting dope, smoking crack with tranquilizer,
Mm.
and that's what you see. They do people with those big sores on their arm
Yep.
out there and all that. So it's an epidemic a silent epidemic that nobody talks about. But a lot of families go through with people that may be addicted themselves, may have a mom, dad, sister, brother. People dying from overdoses. Now the fentanyl. This
Yeah.
is huge.
You know,
Yeah. Go
my
ahead.
bad. No,
Yeah,
my bad.
you good?
You know, the crazy thing is, I know more people that caught addiction from being prescribed
Of
and
course.
just taking it consistently and ended up falling into that hole than I do people that were drug abusers.
Yeah.
That's the crazy
That's what
thing.
happens. Yeah.
And I was also thinking, you remember before there was legislation in place, because you look anywhere now to sell cigarettes, there's big ass signs. Cigarettes can cause
Yeah.
cancer, big blah blah blah. But there had to be legislation put in place so that we can have these kind of awareness. Because when we were growing up and my mom and dads were smoking cigarettes, you had that little warning on the side.
Right.
But you also had billboards promoting cigarettes. You had this promoting.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was all over the place. So when
Yeah.
you look at big pharma, and it don't matter. Like, you can have a toothache, you can have a hangnail. They giving you some type of pain medication for it. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying?
Right.
Why don't they have, like you said, these big ass bold signs, these letterings, billboards? this can cause addiction. Just to be mindful of it, because if you taking medicine and you are entrusted a doctor and they're giving you this and you're thinking that it's trusting you to get better,
Right.
all you want to do is get better and not realizing underneath all that there's something nasty cooking up and you getting addicted and becoming a
Yeah, I
goddamn
talked
drug
about
addict.
it. He said he got 4 wisdom tooth pulled out, and they gave him Percocets. The next thing you know, he was on them shits. He had to keep on, you know what I mean, rocking and going in the street to get them. So, yeah, I you know, I get it. It's needed for certain people with pain because the shit works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like after a few weeks, it's like shit. You need this shit to feel right.
Yep.
And you know, I think that's wrong how they kind of set people up. But
I know, my bad, real quick. I
Yeah.
know a couple good fathers, right, who work in the union, out there busting their ass, back problems and stuff, got hit with the perks, got prescribed that, got addicted because they own them every fucking day. They busting their ass every day, 12, 13 hours a
they
day.
need them, yeah.
And then before you know it, they strung out on heroin, selling they fucking kids shit and all this stuff.
Damn.
Good people.
Yeah.
Like, people that did not ask for that. They just simply trying to gain a little release so they can continue to work. So
That's a lot
it's
of that
crazy,
going
man.
on. Yeah, shout out to Nicki, man, for overcoming that.
Word.
That's dope as hell to hear. So yeah, man. You got anything else over there?
No, sir, man.
Cool, man. Another episode of the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast is in the book. We definitely appreciate each and every person that listened to the podcast. If you want to help us out, send $500. Nah. Nah, but go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. Share the video if you get an opportunity. And don't forget to subscribe down below. That's your brother Sam Man, Viral Hip Hop News. I'm your brother, Oh God. Hip Hop News Uncensored, together with the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. Over and out.
Peace.